This is an Indian guy that that showed us this club, and when somebody's like being mean to you back in the Indian age, you can just bonk them in the head for a lesson, and they'll just fall on the ground.
She's like making rabbit, and she was like, I think she was making like jewelry or a necklace out of those stuff, and she was like, I think she was making soup, and we asked her some questions, and she was actually really cooking the rabbit. So yeah, that's what she did.
I saw that they cook rabbits and they eat different kind of animals, and it was really cool.
I learned that native people would start a fire and then hunt animals and cook them, and they would sometimes steal coal from other fires so they could cook their food.
The Plymouth Rock was split in half in 1620, and the Pilgrims stepped on it on 1600, I think. And then they built a big castle around the bottom half, and in the top half had a little cage around it at the center of the town. And then they decided they should put them together, and then they put them together, and they made it even bigger where the bottom rock was, and then they were back together. So, and
I learned that they use bow and arrows to hunt, and they used to have wooden axes instead of metal. This is where the wanderers are cooking. There's the fire, and there's the meat, which I heard it was rabbit, and it's cooking on a stick, which bounces on two other sticks that helps it stay in the air.
I was learning about that the Pilgrims first stepped on Plymouth Rock when they came to America, and that it was in 1620, and that it's a big rock.
I remember they used rope to catch rabbit. They killed animals so they could keep warm, and they built their houses out of sticks and tree bark.
I learned from how they made blankets and clothes, and how they made their beds out of. That's it.
I learned that the Plymouth Rock it got cut in half many times, but they concreted it together, and it was like a landmark, and it was a very important rock.
Any sofa, sectional, dining room table, bed, mattress, or rug. And if the Boston Bruins win the championship this season, it'll be yours free.
Well, what I learned about was that they have to camouflage in to get their food. They can't just walk up to them and just grab them. They have to hide and use weapons, and that they do really make fire easily, because they use ashes from their fires, and then they use rocks, and then they slam them together to make a spark.
Was anyone else in there?
And we learned about that they're cooking rabbits and how they started the fire and stuff, and how they lived in them, and what they were sitting on, and how they cooked the stuff and how they got it.
Okay.
I like this picture because it has me in it, and I think I'm important. And this Plymouth Rock. If he moves, you'll see it, but he doesn't. There's our teacher, there's me, there's my friend, and then everyone else is just people.
But they were talking about how they hunt for their food and how they cook their food and everything.
He was talking about the ship and how the Pilgrims sailed on it.
Recorded at Pine Glen School by Mrs. Lynch's third grade students.